I at least stop in that space in my house every morning. I have a little meditation space.
Oprah has to have it correct. She always does, doesn't she? But truly, there's a lot of people that are confused by this whole meditation thing. Well, I'm going to figure it out right now because science is saying that there's a hum coming out of the universe. This is what new science has discovered. So let's jump inside and see what it's all about. So what's the hum and the buzz all about? According to the University of Colorado and Boulder, yes, Boulder in the United States, not the big boulder that would hit planet Earth and create some sort of bomb. Rather, they are figuring out that the planet of Earth bobs in the sea and is one of the planets that bobs in the sea like a gravitational waves that spread throughout the universe. Isn't that really cool? Gravitational waves. So that means if there's a wave of anything and there's gravity mixed in with it, there's going to be some form of noise. And I think I've heard that. I really do. And I think that to you might go, this guy's wacko. He's crazy. But I might just watch him for another few seconds because he might tell us why he's crazy. Well, I must be crazy because I've definitely heard a sound. And I would have meditated for a long time. And I would have figured it out myself that there's definitely some form of noise coming here. This is not science, because you hear all of the conventional wisdom about meditation, that you should have this mindful approach and that you should be able to hear nothing but your own breathing and stuff like that. I can tell you from my own experience that there's definitely a sound, a constant, I would call it a hum more than a murmur going on. So when I saw this piece of science, I was kind of excited. I said, right, I'm going to figure out that there's nothing wrong with me and there's something wrong with the world. So let's dig in and see what they say. So these new findings that they're finding out, which appeared recently in the Astrophysical Journal Letters, hail from the US and the Canadian project called the North American Nanohertz Observatory for Gravitational Waves. Try and say all of that when you're trying to meditate. Anyway, for over 13 years, this nanograv, as they call it, researchers have poured over the light streaming from dozens of pulsars spread throughout the Milky Way galaxy to try to detect a gravitational wave background. Now think of wave again, that sound of a wave. There is a sound of a wave, isn't there? Of course there is. That's what scientists call this steady flux of gravitational radiation that, according to theory, washes over Earth on a constant basis. This is the theory. Now, I'm going to mix this up in a second with what the yogis say. And the team here, it says, quote unquote, hasn't yet pinpointed that target, but it's getting closer to than ever before, said Joseph Simon, an astrophysicist at the University of Colorado. Now, according to what Simon is saying, this fantastic scientist, he says that his colleagues are looking for, in contrast, quote, unquote, are more likely the steady hum of conversation at a crowded cocktail party. Now, when I hear that and I said hum, that's something like I hear myself. He said it said detected that background noise would be a major scientific achievement, opening a new window to the workings of the universe. And it would, because if there's sound, however small it is, or constant, murmur, or something, if there's any sound, there's life. Or there's something creating that sound. There has to be. And if there's life, then there could be aliens, or there could be some form of force, of course, because this is how isn't it? All the hard sciences mix together. Force, physics, energy, life. And if they can figure out one, they'll undoubtedly figure out the next piece of the jigsaw. So they have two pieces put together now with this new science, haven't they? Waves create energy. We know that. When we look at the yogis then, and I think about my time starting off with yoga, my time getting into the whole mind space of thinking about the union of mind, body and soul, which is yoga, the meaning of the word, in fact. The higher hum article here that you see, so hum breath and mantra meditation. Now, that's like, what the hell is a so hum breath? Fair enough. I understand that totally, because when I was starting at first and people told me to do this, I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you asking me to do such a thing? But the funny thing is, if you don't do it and if you forget about doing it for years and you just do, like, I'll call it, normal meditation, I believe you will hear that hum anyway, that sound. And I believe that that is actually your target for your meditation. That is when you feel you're actually in it and you're in that zone, shall we say. Because that's what I experienced. Now, I'm not saying, hey, look, you're different than me, of course. Of course, and billions of people are. Thanks be to God. Huh? You wants to be like me, eh? But the thing is, if one person can feel it or hear it, surely then there's others out there that are the same way. And this science is now proving that there's a hum in the universe. So there's something going on with these gravitational waves. So maybe these yogis, after all, who people thought were a bit cracked, crazy, and, well, just wasting time, weren't after all wasting time. Maybe they knew something deeper was going on. They felt it. Like animals can feel weather changing. Perhaps the yogis have felt thousands of years ago what science is just discovering now. There you go. So, if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit that button. Thank you if you have. Until next time, though, please do listen and hear it, because it's there. And do, with it, have a wonderful day.